Information students, I hope that you're having a wonderful week. I hope that school is going well for you and that you and your friends are having a good time learning and that all is well at your home and at your school. And I look forward to seeing you at church at the end of the month. Today we're going to finish up the 10 Commandments. So last time we stopped with number 7, you are not to steal. And so we're moving on today with the 8th commandment. You are not to bear false witness against your neighbor. What is this? Answer, we are to fear and love God so that we do not tell lies about our neighbors, betray or slander them, or destroy their reputations. Instead, we are to come to their defense, speak well of them, and interpret everything they do in the best possible light. Um, so we don't tell lies. We understand that. That's sort of very simple. We know that lying is not a good thing and that we are to tell the truth. But we are also not to betray or slander them. And, one of the important things about this is it's talking about not talking behind people's backs and telling other people negative things about other folks where they're not around. All of that is harmful and hurtful. If we need to have a difficult conversation with someone, we should have it with them and not go behind their back and say negative things without them there. But instead, Luther says we're to come to their defense, speak well of them, and interpret everything they do in the best possible light. Now, that's really something special when you think about it, because sometimes we fall into the habit of interpreting everything someone else does and says in the worst possible light. We think, there's a word we use, demonize, and that means when someone just paints someone else up in their mind as the worst possible version of themselves. Like you think of everything bad about them, you exaggerate everything that's bad about them. Luther instead encourages us to, focus on the good that's in people and talk about those things. Talk about the good and not the bad. Focus on the good and not the bad. Because as we know, none of us are perfect, and so it's possible for anyone to exaggerate our faults. But in the Christian life, we focus on what's good in our neighbor and celebrate that. Okay, the 9th commandment. The 9th and the 10th commandments are very similar. You're not to covet your neighbor's house. Covet's not a word we use very much, but it means to want something someone else has. We're to fear and love God so that we do not try to trick our neighbors out of their inheritance or property or try to get it for ourselves by claiming to have a legal right to it, but instead be of help and service to them in keeping what is theirs. Okay? So when someone has something that's good, that's nice, we celebrate that they have that. We don't think to ourselves, oh, that should be mine. I should have that. Or, I deserve to have something more than that person does. That all gets us into trouble. If someone has something nice, say thanks be to God that they have that thing. And it's the same with the 10th commandment. You are not to covet your neighbor's wife, male or female, servant, cattle, or whatever is his. Now, you can tell that this was written a very, very long time ago because we don't have cattle, most of us, or a male and female servant. But you just got to think this was an awful long time ago, and just read it to say like whatever belongs to a person. What is this? Luther writes, we're to fear and love God so that we do not entice, force, or steal away from our neighbors, their spouses, household workers, or livestock, but instead urge them to stay and fulfill their responsibilities to our neighbors. So once again, kind of a antiquated or very old series of things there they're talking about, but we understand the point behind it. Whatever belongs to a person, we respect that. We're not jealous of that, but we respect what belongs to another person. So we don't covet it. Because when you spend a life of coveting, just wanting what everyone else has, you're going to be miserable your whole life, and it's going to distract you from doing good things. So there is that. Well, that was a very short tie-up of the 10 Commandments, so we're going to get into the Creed next time. And so we'll have that to talk about. And we look forward to seeing you at the end of the month. God bless.